Hi there, it's Troy, and today I want to discuss why being a self-absorbed narcissist is sexy and why it's important for charisma in dating, business, and elsewhere. But before I get into the topic, just a few brief announcements. First, as always, if you want to read my collected writings on dating, sex, and the sexual marketplace, then I urge you to grab a copy of my bundle of best-selling books entitled Renegade Dating Blueprint. The bundle contains 11 of my best books and it's currently priced at just $39. Given that the full value is over $250, this is an amazing deal. So what are you waiting for? Click the link below. Also, please take a moment to sign up for my daily email list. I send out a free article every day from Monday to Friday during the week on topics related to dating, sex and charisma. And in addition, if I were to get deplatformed from every single social media channel there is, it means that you could still get my content. So join the inner circle today, link below. Finally, please give this video a like, then hit subscribe and notifications so you can stay up to date with all the latest content I'm uploading to the channel. Anyway, back to today's topic. As I mentioned in a previous video, I've recently been rereading Robert Greene's excellent book, The Art of Seduction, which I recommend everyone watching this video gets a copy of. Here's an extract where Greene talks about the huge power of narcissism in sexual dynamics. To adopt the power of the coquette, you must understand one other quality, narcissism. Sigmund Freud characterized the narcissistic woman, most often obsessed with her appearance, as the type with the greatest effect on men. As children, he explains, we pass through a narcissistic phase that is immensely pleasurable. Happily self-contained and self-involved, we have little psychic need of other people. Then, slowly, we are socialized and taught to pay attention to others, but we secretly yearn for those blissful early days. The narcissistic woman reminds a man of that period and makes him envious. Perhaps contact with her will restore that feeling of self-involvement. Of course, Greene is here referring to the effect that female behaviour has on men. However, this can apply equally the other way around. Human nature is human nature after all. And anyway, perhaps it reminds you of a situation where you've been dating a narcissistic woman who was entirely absorbed with herself and how that absorption pulled you in even deeper. There's a strange process that takes place whereby narcissistic people who care only for themselves can make us almost addicted to them, begging for more. And the more they disregard us, the more we want them. The task for the would-be seducer then is to figure out how he can mobilise this dynamic himself in order to make women obsessively interested in him. And really, it's not that difficult. You simply need to put yourself first, or make yourself your own mental point of origin, as Rollo Tomassi, the author of The Rational Male, would have it. Robert Greene then goes on to write the following. A man is also challenged by the female coquette's independence. He wants to be the one to make her dependent, to burst her bubble. It is far more likely, though, that he will end up becoming her slave, giving her incessant attention to gain her love and failing. For the narcissistic woman is not emotionally needy, she is self-sufficient, and this is surprisingly seductive. Self-esteem is critical in seduction. Your attitude to yourself is read by the other person in subtle and unconscious ways. Low self-esteem repels, confidence and self-sufficiency attract. The less you seem to need other people, the more likely others will be drawn to you. Understand the importance of this in relationships, and you will find your neediness easier to suppress. This makes crystal clear precisely why self-sufficiency is so attractive to both genders. And again, although Greene is talking about female behaviour here, this works equally well the other way around. Indeed, some have claimed that game or dating skills are simply female tactics turned on their head and used by men. Because if you appear self-sufficient, then the other person will assume that you have high self-esteem. And that is almost universally attractive, since people tend to believe what they are told. Therefore, if you communicate that you think highly of yourself, then those you would seek to attract will assume there is some basis in it. In other words, he must have some reason for thinking he's so great. Probably he has successfully dated a lot of beautiful women in the past. When you transmit this impression, then you will effortlessly attract women to you. You will appear more charismatic simply because, well, If you weren't charismatic, then would you really have the nerve to behave in such a fashion? It's unlikely. That said, this isn't about faking it to make it. You really should have a high regard for yourself, and you really should be independent. And this really should be based on actual rather than fabricated value. I've written in the past on the idea of positive selfishness, and it's worth bringing up again here. Those who are on their own true path and who are selfish in their focus tend to be rewarded in the sexual marketplace above those who are externally focused and hungry for attention and validation from women. It's a cruel quirk of human nature that things work this way, but they do, and you must be aware of it and coordinate your persona accordingly. I'm sure many of those listening have had the experience of being head over heels in love with someone and attendant to their every whim, only to be cruelly rejected. And you've also doubtless been on the other side of the fence, disinterested in a lover or potential lover who became correspondingly obsessed with you. The truth of the matter is that all human beings seek value in their romantic relationships as well as elsewhere. This might sound like a crude commercialization of the mysterious and sacred erotic terrain, but let's face it, it's true. And therefore, if you would like to earn your share, or more than your share, of pleasure in this arena, you must learn to be more self-absorbed, more narcissistic, and more self-sufficient, or to project these things at least. Of course, many know this instinctively, but fail to act accordingly. Why? Because they fear that their intrinsic value is not sufficient and the object of their affections will simply walk away. But can't you see that if you're thinking this, then you've already lost the game? Because if even you don't think you're good enough, then why the hell should she? This is where faking it until you make it can help, up to a point. But at the same time, you must also work hard to build your interests and your value. You must have a mission that is separate to the women you are dating or seeking to date. It must be all-consuming and it must take up a lot of your time. That way, regardless of the vicissitudes of the dating marketplace, you will have a bigger, all-encompassing focus. And that in itself will only make you more attractive, the object of female obsession in fact, because all of us, male and female, are jealous of people like this, who are on their own path, and we seek to possess them in the hope that we too might become like them, or at least benefit from their seemingly superhuman powers. Anyway, that's it for today. As I said earlier, you can get all my books on dating in the Renegade Dating Blueprint bundle for just $39 on the link below. Also, remember to sign up for my email list, link below, and hit subscribe and notifications for this channel so you're kept up to date with all my latest content. Speak soon. Bye-bye.